befitting his spiritual name, Tapas Das. It was not by accident that he got this name, we all thought. It was really Krishna's arrangement. Traveling up and down Norway, living in a Toyota Hiace, his life was real tapasya. Of course, in Krishna conscious, tapasya refers to voluntarily accepting hardships and austerities for spiritual advancement, and mainly in order to please Krishna. So this was Tapas Prabhu's mood and his Sankirtan service for about 12 years. Even after all those years of full-time Sankirtan, he took part in Christmas marathons for many, many years, and he distributed an enormous amount of books. I wrote here about 250,000, but I think could be double. I didn't get this together. According to Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, who mentions the 26 qualities of a devotee, Tapas Prabhu embodied the qualities of being without possessions, working for everyone's benefit, and of being always surrendered to Krishna in the Sankirtan mission. I forgot to mention that traveling in such austere circumstances contributed to Tapas Prabhu's being very often physically sick. And due to health reasons, on the order of his spiritual master, he left street distribution and joined the temple in Stockholm at Fridhemsgatan in order to recover. This was also Krishna's plan, because when our Scandinavian yatras went through a big crisis in '98, Tapas Prabhu took over at that time the position of temple president in the Hare Krishna Center, a service which he maintained up to his departure from this world, and that is 27 years. It's quite a very steady service. To keep a service of such great responsibility for so many years requires an enormous steadiness and goodness. Besides a big temple and a restaurant, he was also managing the big facility of Brahmakunda, where devotees resided. It was during those days that our association became closer. We often discussed financial problems, difficulties with authorities, issues with the temple, and Tapas Prabhu showed great tolerance and sense control. Because when there are big difficulties, our general tendency as human beings is to give up and take care of ourselves, as it is so popular nowadays. He never did that and tackled the challenges one by one while keeping a Krishna conscious attitude and trusting that whatever happens is under the control of Krishna. He also managed by being very strict with himself and at the same time tolerated the deviations of others without finding faults in them, and accepted whatever service each one of the devotees could perform. During the later years, we served together and had a lot of association by trying to develop and continue the preaching of both Stockholm and Skåne. He was the regional secretary of Skåne. The situation in Stockholm was specifically difficult in 2017, when the landlord wanted us to move out from the temple and the restaurant at Fridhemsgatan, where we had been since 1980. So we have been there almost 30 years, I think 32 altogether. There were many negotiations with lawyers, the landlord, and the city's politicians. Not disheartened by the difficulties, Tapas launched a campaign amongst the politicians in order to save the temple and the restaurant in Stockholm. After we moved out, Tapas Prabhu very quickly found new preaching facilities right in the center of Stockholm, as well as the small Govindas in Fridhemsgatan. Associating with Tapas Prabhu was always an honor and a pleasure. He viewed life and events in this world as completely connected to Krishna consciousness, and his philosophical analyses were deep. He had a deep commitment to create a godly society according to Srila Prabhupada's instructions on Varnashrama Dharma, a society focused on devotional service, and he was constantly developing new topics and ideas for preaching. I had the privilege of discussing many of the topics with him. Many of these topics also became articles written by him on his Facebook page. Some of these articles are amazing, like some of the titles. Do we hear Krishna's intense call? Wake up, come back. The titles. Srila Prabhupada's compassion, how Srila Prabhupada destroyed the nihilistic society. Metamorphosis, a Krishna conscious analysis of Franz Kafka's novel. Then he wrote a series of 13 articles, Asat Sangha Tyaga. And this is amazing, teaching all of us how to practically become more serious in our devotional service. There are many other wonderful articles, and devotees can still today access them in Tapas Prabhu's Facebook page. I think last time I checked. Very philosophical, deep articles. Another characteristic of Tapas Prabhu was that he was a personalist. A personalist in the spiritual sense that Krishna is the Supreme Person and that we are also all persons. And because of that, we are all important and connected. Very often, he saw how impersonalism is all-pervading in modern society, and how the teachings of Srila Prabhupada were ultimately focused on personalism, as it is stated in Srila Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Another characteristic of Tapas Prabhu was that he was always truthful in his words and meek in his behavior, not requiring any honor for himself, which are important qualities of a devotee. To finalize this short memorial in appreciation of Tapas Prabhu, I would like to mention a short statement written in October 20th, 1956 by Srila Prabhupada, where he described the qualities that he wished to invoke in the members of our society. So Srila Prabhupada wrote, to evoke the qualities of goodness, particularly Sattva Guna, by establishing the devotees in the status of a qualified Brahman, good and intellectual man. This is how Srila Prabhupada defines a Brahmana, a good and intellectual man, on the basis of truthfulness, forgiveness, equality, tolerance, education, purity, knowledge, specific and general, and faith in the transcendental service of Godhead. So here we have a perfect description of the completely surrendered devotee. With such definitive information and criteria available, there is no room for speculating as to who is truly surrendered and who is not. The good qualities of the demigods are automatically displayed in the character of a pure devotee. It's not that he says one thing and does another, so there is no question of acting or posing in devotional service. From the above description of Srila Prabhupada, we can understand that Srila Prabhupada wanted to create devotees of first-class character and behavior, and Tapas Prabhu was one of those devotees. Therefore, let us today pay our homage to His Grace Tapas Prabhu, an exemplary Vaishnava, who dedicated his life fully to the service of Srila Prabhupada's mission. I'm sure that in the same way as he took care of Krishna during his life, Krishna will also take care of him now that he has left his physical body. From your servant and friend, Lord Chandas Thakur.
Prabhu for the opportunity. So my association with Tapas Prabhu is much lesser than, of course, most of the devotees sitting here. But if we divide Tapas Prabhu's lives in different parts, and I was mostly in the Antya Leela, and that was the last 4 years of his life on this planet. But that 4 years of association was very intense. So one congregation member was sharing to me that Tapas Prabhu had this ability which is there in Krishna and reflects in his devotees, that they have the ability to make many people feel special, that you are special in their life. And I'm one of them. I felt like that with Tapas Prabhu. And every day morning we used to associate in the temple hall. So I was very consistent in Mangal Aartis, at least in the beginning. And we would chant together, and sometimes in between the rounds some thoughts would come to him and he would start talking. Premai Mataji also used to come. But sometimes I used to sit for a long time with him chanting. He would stop chanting, he was talking to me, and I would share things about yesterday I went to the university and this guy said this to me and I'm feeling like this. And he would tell me this philosophical perspective behind it, and I what challenges I'm going through or what philosophical contemplation I'm going through, and then he would share his reflection. So it was such an intense association. I really cherish that, and that kept me stable actually. And then I felt like I came in during the Kartik month to Sweden. So every Friday there were some house programs in Indian families' homes. So Tapas Lajjavati Mataji were so kind to take me to almost all the programs, and I would go with them in temple car, and we would do programs. And I was feeling, oh, I'm out of India, but I'm so fortunate to be here. Every Friday we have this program, Sunday feast program. Every morning at least Tapas Association was there. And actually, because of him, I grew quite a lot in Krishna consciousness and as a whole as a person. He empowered me a lot. So I did not know anything about cooking before I came to Sweden. I would hardly cook even rice in India. But once I was so much struggling with cooking in the beginning, sometimes it would be uncooked, sometimes it would be burned, sometimes salt is less or more. But one day I made some noodles and it turned out to be eatable, like good. I felt it was good. So I invited Tapas to Prabhu, I have made something, I want to feed you today. Like, and he was very kind, he came, accepted. Oh, this is nice, and you should cook for the Sunday feast. And the following Sunday, I was cooking for 50 people. So that was my first Sunday feast cooking. And that's when I entered. I never came out of the kitchen. And at one time, he made me in charge of the Sunday feast cooking management. Shyama Dulari Mataji is doing now. So he empowered so much. And when I came in the beginning, I was not even first initiated, and he was so kind to empower me to do DT worship of Nitai Gaur Sundar. So I used to do DT worship at once a week. Of course, in war-like situations, when there's a war going on, even if there's a new person who is not so good in medical, knowledge, even they are asked to become doctors. Okay, you become a doctor and treat others. So he asked me, I used to do I was like, oh my God. In India, I messaged him, Prabhu, I'm planning to come to Stockholm and I want to stay here. By Pranav Prabhu's mercy, I got to stay here. And at that time I said, Prabhu, your deities are so beautiful. Can I worship them when I come there? And he was like, yes, you can. I was like, what? In India, I can't imagine worshipping a deity. Once I touched Jagannath deity during Rath Yatra. I was in charge of one of the Raths, but managerially, not like I couldn't do. And the pujari was, you can't touch, you are not Brahman initiated. I was like, but I really feel so grateful for that. Of course, I did mistakes. I was new, but I grew a lot. And then he started asking me to also give lectures in Sunday feast or otherwise. And sometimes I would hesitate, Prabhu, this week my sadhana was very bad. I don't feel inspired. And he would say, the empowerment is not in your sadhana. It's in the instruction that is coming to you. So if you follow that instruction. And I realized those weeks when I would just surrender and follow his instruction, those classes were most inspiring to people. They would come to me, oh, your class was so inspiring today. And I was like, it's because of the instruction coming to me. So then later on he empowered me to take care of the social media groups of our temple. Of course, I am still new and still learning how to do it better. He wanted, in the last days, he asked me to do something what he called as the master of ceremony, like managing the events in the temple, organizing events. So I saw this ability that he saw some spark and he fanned it and empowered and helped people grow. So I really appreciate that. He had such sharp intelligence in philosophy, like so many things that we take for granted. He could find the material flaws in that, okay, this is where Maya is in this, is like this very sharp intelligence. And he was even writing a book on Mayavad, which could not complete, but he was writing a book. He shared with me that how Mayavad is permeating all the different aspects of society. So how, for example, nihilism or this philosophy, how there is Mayavad inside that. So he was analyzing it deeply and writing a book on that. And he was so much focusing on Lord Chaitanya, as Amren Prabhu shared. Like sometimes he would ask me to give a class, and if it was a class, say Ram Navami, but he would say, you must speak about Lord Chaitanya, even no matter what festival, what, you must speak about Lord Chaitanya. So sometimes I used to think, he's focusing so much on Lord Chaitanya, and at the end, at the end of his life, like the last moments, he asked Lajjavati Mataji to sing Jai Radha Madhav, right?
Yeah, a little bit like
Something like that. And I realized that this is what it leads us to Lord Chaitanya, as when one is dedicated to Lord Chaitanya, one naturally develops love and devotion to Radha and Krishna. So sometimes we try to approach them directly, but this is the way he showed us. And he had such determination, like as Ashok Krishna Prabhu I think also shared, in the last days also he was like so much involved in managing, cooking. So once, even few months before he disappeared, he was cooking. Sometimes once there was an event happened, cooking was there, and cleaning he needed some. There was nobody to clean, so I came and cleaned. I was cleaning, but he sensed that I was also busy, so I was a bit uncomfortable, but I was doing it. And he came to me and he said, I'm really sorry that I'm not able to do this, and you have to do this. My body doesn't allow me that. So that was so much. One of the last instructions he gave me, it was a recipe. It was Dahi Cheda festival, and he gave me, I still have the recipe and I'm going to cook on the coming festival. Dahi Cheda, detailed recipe, like take these many bananas, let them ripe for 4 days. It was just few days, like he disappeared on 15th of June, and this festival is in June. So these are one of the last things he instructed. So I pray that, of course, I miss that association, that morning association, and I have become much more slack in my sadhana after he disappeared. So I seek his blessings, and that we all together can take care of the huge responsibilities he was taking care of. Tapas Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna, to devotees. I'm very grateful that we have the opportunity to come here today to the celebration, actually, of Tapas Prabhu. I spoke already last time that we are from Göteborg, and I know Tapas Prabhu since 2011 when we took over the Govinda restaurant. And I feel this time I write at least something. Last time I was just speaking like this. But I feel very grateful that I had the very good fortune to meet Tapas Prabhu in this life. And I feel it's a very big blessing that our small family could serve in Lord Chaitanya's mission under the guidance of Tapas Prabhu. Normally my husband, we always spoke about him like our wise person, because we could really ask him any kind of questions and he could always help us. I have to say I never met a person with such an open heart and have the possibility to associate with him. He was very friendly always, humble, wise, and such a lovingly soul, I have to say. And it's a real treasure that I had the possibility to serve under his guidance. And this loving mood will stay always in our hearts. It's it's like a jewel in my heart that we had the possibility to meet him. And one instruction which he always gave us was count your blessings. This I heard so many times, because sometimes you feel like, oh, this is too much and I don't like this, and then you see always what's not good. But Tapas Prabhu always said, count your blessings, and this is still in my, it's like in me inside, like this. Be grateful what you get, be grateful what Krishna gives you for service, and yeah, that's so nice. Yeah, when I now realized that 1 year has passed, I really have to say I couldn't believe it. It feels for me like 10 years. I have to say it's not just 1 year. There was so many situations, occasions when I really deeply missed Tapas Prabhu. So many things had happened, and I would really love to call him as we did before and ask. And it's very unfortunate. But yeah, we should count the blessings that we had the possibility to have him here with us. Yeah, Tapas Prabhu, he always saw the good in us and in everybody else. It was also mentioned already so many times. And despite our lacks which we had, he always made us feeling that we are trustworthy, welcome, and appreciated the little service what we did with many faults, and but he always saw the good. He always was so positive with everybody in our congregation, especially also newcomers. Everyone was given the possibility to serve, and he never said, like, there was so many occasions when we was not sure should this person be allowed to come in Krishna's kitchen and clean the pots, and he said he has to do this. Like, don't think because he is doing not good things, he has to do it. It's important that devotees get the possibility to serve. And when the children, we made like for Govardhan Puja, we made like small animals out of mandal, like this. And then several devotees was complaining, it's very bad, you cannot do like this, other people will eat them, these small cows or whatever, it's not... And then he said, just let them do this, you know, it's preaching for the children. When they do these nice animals, later we did otherwise, it took dough, which you cannot eat. But in this moment, he said, more important that the children do something nice than that it can be maybe not so nicely seen. And I think this was very good. Yeah, and even in his final days, he really accepted our service. I think it was, you know, like we wanted to show him that we was so grateful that what he did for us, that we also wanted to do something for him. And then we was allowed to come in his room, and my husband could show him some exercises, how he can get better. Like he accepted it, you know, like we felt we did something great. He always made us feel we do something very good. I don't know if he did it or not, maybe not, but at least we had the feeling we did something for him, like to do something nice. It was very amazing. Yeah, and I wrote like life without your physical presence become very much difficult and challenging for us. Now we have to learn to stand on our own legs. This I really feel now. It's such a big loss that we have to stand up. We have to do, as you mentioned also before, like that we have to preach, help others, and go on with the mission. And I really pray to dear Tapas Prabhu, please help us that we continue on the right path and learn to serve in such a lovingly honest and humble way as you did. We can only pray that we will never forget your expertise, guidance and instructions, take them in our hearts and share this wisdom with the world. This is what I'm praying for. Thank you so much.
He was a very loving person. He had really such like this little text for Tapas Prabhu. He had so much love in his heart and so much care. Like Shilpa Mataji was sharing her own life. Like I can say to Shilpa Mataji or anybody else, something which is a Krishna consciousness, some instruction, but it does not touch their hearts. Like I'd say something, so it's okay, no problem. But when the Tapas Prabhu said the same thing, because he was really had a heart in the right place. Such a deep, wonderful Vaishnava. So such a loss. Yeah, exactly. We were speaking with Arundhati Mataji. It's irreplaceable, actually. It's really has lost such a Vaishnava is irreplaceable, and every Vaishnava has something so wonderful, such a sincere devotees, and it's irreplaceable. So they say. There's Adi Gopi Mataji who wanted to. There are some other devotees also, but Prabhu, if you can read her. She had this reading, but you can translate it.
So in English?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I try. And everything disappears. And supporting my spiritual lives, and this I appreciate mostly from you was your enthusiasm of always serve your devotees and Nitya Borasundara. You find always different occasions to have a festival before Krishna's appearances that started, among others, a appreciated festival for the devotees, a multi festival when everyone took at home their deities, Panihati festival, etc. Your enthusiasm never diminished, and you maintain always the taste for spiritual life and was engaged to the end. I have so many memories of you. Some of them are when you drive me with speed to the BB delivery. Thank you. When I was to give birth to my daughter, or when you advise us to Norwegian. After that, we had a nostalgic conversation on how many we both love palt. What is palt?
It's a special a potato with a barley flour. You mix it and boil it in the water. It's a special Norwegian.
The Norwegian. Okay, thank you. Can't. Thank you. You were in fact a, a completely excellent cook. My favorite, besides Paltan, was this super thin pancakes and your incredible halva and ice glass ice ice cream. I also remember when I came. Yes, I should get my initiation, and you came, and one group of devotees from the Hare Krishna Center came down to Hungary to be part with it, which it meant incredible a lot for me. That if I knew few there, your support was what built up the foundation of my spiritual life. This is the reason why I have maintained in ISKCON despite many of down and up through many years. I had many memories from all these large Sunday feasts, festivals, when we often stayed there to the night to clean, fix, which was, and it was never jobbigt, it was never pain or tough. On the opposite, we were always full of energy and enthusiasm after the mercy from Sri Sri Nitai Gaurasundara gave to us, which made the cleaning ecstatic. I'm so thankful, thank you, for everything you have been and in the future will be, and such as many other lives, i mitt och så många andras liv. The last time I met you, it was some week before you left us. I tried to thank you for everything you did for me and my family, but it's difficult to describe how much you meant in words. The same thing when one has to write an offering to one's guru that has sometime thanked them enough. It is not possible to explain in words without this is a emotion that is beyond words. When I sit myself from before your bed and saw you, jobbigt, tough, that you had with your andning, your breathing, and your quick, svaga, quick, thank you, body. That's with security had a lot of pain too, so you took that to your heart, but at the same time, so I saw that you were full of förundran, of amazement for fasting that you had to suffer so much for. You continue with all things that you have done before to speak about Krishna, preaching or encouraging. You have been so strong till the end, and I knew that you should come to an incredible, beautiful place where your time is in. When I sat there in front of your side, on the side, so I felt that I will so much do something personal. Sorry, I did a mistake here. Yeah, here. Something personal service for you. For example, clean your bed, take your lakanen, your
Bed sheets.
yes, thank you, so that it should be more comfortable. That one, so one could experience for a father that is lying on the bed, a dead bed, that one will try to do something comfortable, despite the fact that there is nothing that can be done. But it felt like silly to ask such a thing, because I knew nothing. But the night after you had left your body, so you came in my dream. It was exactly the same scenario as the last time I saw you in life. You lay there in the dead bed, but you said that you could fix your kudda och lakan.
Pillow sheets.
Thank you. When I done that, so you took my hands and put them on my head. I felt such a mercy streaming from your hands. Then I woke up so happy and full of förundran, amazement. Det var as such as you knew that I wanted to have a last service to you, so you came into my dream and let me do it. Thank you for that. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for everything you were and you are. I say, as I said last time I saw you, that I say not adieu, goodbye, but we meet again. Because I am convinced that we all will come and meet us again and continue our service to Krishna together. Tapas Prabhu ki jai.
Hari Prabhu, he is devotee from Hungary, Sankirtan devotee, and I think today he will go to Nigeria, okay, for preaching, because he wants to become a sannyasi. And this is his task, to preach there for 2 weeks now. Okay. Dear Tapas Prabhu, please accept my respectful obeisances of yours to Srila Prabhupada. A year has passed since you left this world. How different the world feels now without you among us. I miss your association. I miss your loving personal care and concern. I miss your bhajans, which you led with such devotion. I miss your ever-inspiring classes, through which you shared such deep philosophy and realized knowledge. I miss seeing the enthusiasm with which you rendered service to Sri Krishna, inspiring all of us by your example. I miss your personal conversations, which often continued late into the night, and after which I would return to my service with renewed enthusiasm. Most of all, I miss being able to see you personally. Because of this, the world has become different for me. What can I do in this situation? I can serve Krishna with even greater diligence and dedication. It is now my responsibility to take my spiritual life more seriously, so that I do not disappoint you. You helped and supported my spiritual life so that I could advance further on my journey back to Godhead. As I remember the many valuable instructions you gave me, I feel deep gratitude in my heart, and I try to act accordingly and continue my spiritual journey. It is difficult without you. There are so many things and experiences that I would have loved to share with you. On this day, the first anniversary of your departure, I remember you with great love and gratitude. I miss you dearly. No one else can fill the place you hold in my heart. The sorrow in my heart is eased by the thought that you are now in a wonderful place in the spiritual world with Krishna. I hope that just as you think I hope that just as I think of you, you also think of me. Trusting in your goodwill and hoping to receive your spiritual blessings, I pray that one day I too may become qualified to return to the spiritual world, and perhaps, if Krishna so arranges, we may serve him together there. That would be the perfection of my life. Your servant and friend Govinda Haridas. Marisa Mataji. Hare Krishna. Also, okay. But it's addressed onto you. Should I read the beginning also?
Whatever, yeah, okay.
Hare Krishna Lajavati Mataji. I became sick, inflammation in my breathing area. I got medication and it's no dangerous. I don't feel like I can come, but I send you my words to your husband, Tapas Prabhu. As I said, I feel very honored when you, Mataji Lajavati, invited me for saying the last goodbye for Tapas Prabhu. I met Tapas Prabhu and you in 1994-1995. After a period, Tapas Prabhu and you, Mataji Lajavati, get married and was present in your wedding, which was so beautiful. I think that soon after wedding became Tapas Prabhu president of the temple in Stockholm, sustaining a source of spiritual inspiration in Krishna consciousness and development of bhakti for me and for many others during many, many years. And I think that Tapas Prabhu is also a great driver. Thank you, Tapas Prabhu and Mataji Lajavati. I wish you, Tapas Prabhu, a great journey to where Sri Krishna wants to take you. Dear Mataji Lajavati, I sent some words from my heart. I'm sorry for not coming. Kram Marisa.
Tapas. Can everybody hear?
Yes.
Your determination. I'm going to speak about airplanes now. I was so stupid for so many years. You know that Brahmakund here is just, it's not far to Bromma Airport. Thank you very much. It's so close. So when I was walking here, many years actually, I heard this, and I thought that they must have. I can see no helicopter here, but they must have a helicopter over Bromma Airport, because it sounded like that, for guarding or watching or something. But I thought that was stupid. To have a helicopter they're watching. They have towers, don't they? And after some years, I realized that that was just the planes taxiing out, the propeller planes. Wow, sounding like that, isn't it? Before they take off, lift away. And also, but sometimes I came down here to the temple and I heard the same sound. You know what that is? It was empty here. I was there. But when I came around the pillar here, I saw two socks, Norwegian socks. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. That was Tapas. And his determination was also, and I thought, how do you have time to chant? You're doing so much already, else things. But he did. But 3 years ago, he took me by the, what do you call it, like a cat mother.
Scruff of the neck.
What?
Scruff of the neck.
He scruffled the neck of me and dragged me to Radhadesh and said that now is the time for you to take initiation after so many years. I'm 69 now, and then I was 66, maybe. I can't count backwards. And Kadamba Kanana was there, so there was 200, 300, 400 people there, because this was 6-7 months before he just went on. So there were so many who wanted initiation at that time. And theater, Tapas has done so many manuscripts, I don't know how many, that we have made, plays from Mahabharata and Ramayana. Hundreds. You have in your wardrobe a pile, a heap.
No, I have them in the computer.
You have, yeah, in computer. Yes. Does it explode sometimes? Yeah, and he insisted every year, many times, at all the festivals. Now we have to do a play about that. Yeah, and he wrote the manuscript and so on. And we were also in Jagannath Puri. He dragged me to, we're going to do theater now. You're going to rehearse tonight, and tomorrow we're going to perform for 400 people in Jagannath Puri. What, just one evening before? Yes, why not? And the main actor there, he didn't come. Chaitanya didn't come. So somebody else had to jump in that role. So, and the narrator said, and so he hadn't rehearsed at all. Narrator said, and Chaitanya left the other way. Yeah. But once, I mean, the expanding, of his theaters. Once we did with Chaitanya, Nityananda, and of course, Tapas was Chaitanya always, and I had to do Nityananda, kind of always. I don't know why, but this might explain it. And it was a story about Jagai and Madai, and the pot, throwing of the pot to the forehead of Nityananda. And the guy who was going to, is it Madai or Gadai who throws the pot? Madai throws the pot, and because he's so upset. And this guy, he has, of some reason, just opened a film magazine 1 week before and discovered how to make clay of sugar. You know, in films they or bang bottles in each other's head and jump through windows and so on. That's sugar. Doesn't hurt at all. So he had made a clay pot. And I was Nityananda, and I had blueberry soup in my left hand for some reason. And I was going chanting kind of away somewhere. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. And Madai says, "What's your name?" And I said, "My name is Avadut." And he said, "Oh, what? Avadut!" And he took the clay pot and banged it into my forehead. So the pieces just flew all over the audience, and the children in the front, they went, "Yuck! Well, disgusting!" Because I had this blueberry soup here also, and I went, and the blood just fell down. You know, blueberry soup is not blue, it's red. Down my face, and I said, "Govinda!" Yeah. And Kadamba Kanana Swami was there also. And 1 week later, or 4 days later, they knew it in Berlin, about the theater in Stockholm. And 1 week later, then they knew it in Mayapur also. So that's how it can spread. Thanks to